Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Moto Mengy channel. Hope you're all doing well. We're having beautiful weather here in Pennsylvania right now. This is the beginning of September, and today I want to talk about something that I did recently that I haven't done yet on this Goldwing. Something that happened to me, something that most motorcycle riders go through at some point. Just so happens this was the first time it happened to me on my Goldwing. Yeah, I dropped my bike. I dropped my bike. I dropped my Goldwing. And it wasn't just me on it either. I had deer in the back. My girlfriend was on the back when I did drop it. And I have damage on the bike. So, let me talk about it for a bit, because it's been on my mind ever since it happened. Now, if you ride a motorcycle long enough, you're almost inevitably going to drop a motorcycle at some point. You're going to drop your bike. Whether it's at a stop sign, whether it's in a grassy field in the rain, whether it's during an accident, whether you're hit, at some point your bike is probably going to go down with you on it. There's a saying in the motorcycle community, if you ride a bike, it's not a matter of if you'll go down, it's a matter of when you'll go down. Now, I've owned this Goldwing for almost 4 years. And just a week and a half ago, it's the first time I dropped this bike. So, I guess that's a pretty good track record, I guess. I've had plenty of bikes I never dropped. In fact, the only other bike I ever dropped, two of them actually. I dropped my Sportster, my first Harley Sportster. I dropped that in a grassy, muddy field after we were camping in a field, and it was after a weekend of a lot of rain. So the field was muddy. And we were playing around, revving our motorcycles and, you know, fishtailing in the mud and stuff, throwing dirt up. So I revved my Sportster, spinning some mud around, and the back tire came up under me, and down I went. So that was a stupid fall. That was my fault, of course. The second time I dropped the bike was on my Harley Davidson Road Glide Ultra, my 2011 Road Glide Ultra. Again with deer in the back, actually. Now, actually, deer was off to the side when I dropped that, but she was with me. We were down Tennessee on a bad road that just turned gravel, and we were going to turn around to go back the way we came because we didn't want to ride the gravel road. It was up a steep incline on like a mountain ridge. It was a bad road for a motorcycle. So I stopped the bike and pulled it over to turn it around, but it was a good incline and the road was sloped a bit and there was gravel on the road a little bit. So when I put my foot down, tried to spin the bike around, yeah, my foot slid out and down I went. On the Road Glide Ultra. Now, deer wasn't on the bike when that happened. She was off to the side, so she watched the whole thing. And then she actually had to help me pick it up because it was on just a bad incline. It was a bad spot. So again, my fault for getting us into a bad situation, but the road was partially to blame for that one. And that one didn't do much damage to the bike. I scuffed, my 2011 Road Glide had crash bars around the saddlebags, and I think I scuffed the one crash bar a little bit. The chrome was scuffed a little bit. You can barely tell. I think the one exhaust had a little bit of a scuff on it too, but nothing bad. It wasn't terrible. It was minor. Which leads me to the third time I dropped the motorcycle, a week and a half ago. And this Goldwing. So I was riding with my brother. He was with us on his Pan America. And deer was on the back of my bike. And we just came from Kaufman's Chicken. It's a chicken place here in the Bethel area of Pennsylvania. Really good food. Excellent chicken. And it gets busy. It's a good biker hangout. Lots of bikers go there. And other people too, but it's a popular biking spot. But we were there getting chicken dinners. Winter chicken dinner. And afterwards we were gonna go get ice cream, not far from Kaufman's Chicken. So we hopped on the bikes and we were riding this exact road, to be honest. Not by coincidence, this is Route 501, Pennsylvania. Just north of Bethel, Pennsylvania. We were coming up to the stop sign right down the road here. It's a stop sign I've been to 100 times before in my life, probably more than 100, probably many hundreds actually. Right here where 501 meets 895, the intersection, the T section. And normally though, when I get this intersection, I approach it from the middle or the left side to the center of the road because there's a bit of a slope off to the left. So when I'm alone, I'm in the middle of the road normally. But this time, my brother stop this bike in the middle, so I came off to his right because we were turning right at the stop sign. And as it turns out, the road slope on the right side of the intersection is a little bit more than I expected it to be. It's more than I thought it was. It's more than I realized. In fact, it's this stop sign right up here. This is the exact intersection it happened at. We were going to turn right at this intersection, so I was going to stop right at this here. Now my brother was in the middle, and I pulled off to the right here. Now as it turns out, and I'll pull over here. Let me just park the bike right here. As it turns out, the slope of this road is a little more drastic than I thought it was. I'm going to measure it right here with my level. You can see, if I look at the level, that it's a good slope. Now, you can also see here there's a lot of gravel on the road, and there's a sign right here, the stop sign. So when I stopped here, I went to put my right foot down. For a split second, well, my foot didn't hit ground. Let's put it that way. Let me tell you, there was a split second of surprise, shock, and fear all at once. Because you know, you put your foot down at a stop, you want to feel the ground. I didn't feel any ground. When my foot didn't hit ground, I immediately slid over to the right on the seat and tried to put my foot down lower, because the bike started to, you know, lean over to the right side. So my foot finally hit ground, but it was down lower than I thought it was. And at that point, my foot landed on some gravel that's there, and my foot slid when it got on the ground. So now I'm hyperextended to the right. My leg is straight, my foot is slid a bit, and the bike suddenly leaned more to the right. And yeah, the lean angle was just too much. The bike started going over. And I struggled. I tried to keep it up with my right leg, but the more pressure I put on my leg, the more it slid on the gravel. And it felt like we slowly went over, but I think in reality we went over faster than I think it was. When I landed, I kind of got tossed off the bike. Well, here, I'll tell you what. Here, I'll show you the damage on the bike, because there is damage. Because when the bike leaned over on this side, this is the side it went down on, it went further than it was supposed to, and I'll tell you why. The Goldwing has crash bars here. They're under these covers, but that cover is even loose. Wow. These two plastic covers, the black things, they're supposed to keep the bike from going over greater than like 30 degrees, I think, on its side, or 60 degrees, whatever. When the Goldwing goes over, the plastic shouldn't touch the ground at all, nor should the exhaust, because it sits on these they're actually like crash bars attached to the frame underneath these covers. So you can see here, this cover got scuffed up when it hit the ground, as did this one, a little less, but it got scuffed too. But because the road sloped so much right there, what happened is the Goldwing lay down on the crash bars, and it kept going because it had so much inertia. It was tipped over so much, sloping so much on the road, that it just kept going. And you can see a little bit here, not so bad, but the grip hit the road because it came right over. This mirror hit the road. You see the scuffs here. Here, I'll try to get a close-up of that. Hopefully it can't in the camera. See the side here got scuffed when it landed on the ground, because the mirror actually folded. These mirrors fold. It got folded up. This hit, but this didn't get so bad. But the major damage was the saddlebag. It laid down on the saddlebag. And you can see these aren't just scratches, they're gouges in the paint. Pretty heavy ones, actually. I don't know if the GoPro doesn't capture these gouges. I'll use my phone later on to get better pictures of them, but I think I'll try it like this for now. The GoPro will probably catch it if I just hold still. So yeah, my Goldwing has battle damage. Yay. Now, unfortunately, both Deer and I also got hurt a little bit. You wouldn't think falling over at a stop sign would hurt so bad, but As it turns out, it's it can. I'll ride some more while I'm talking, so it's some Siri changes. We'll go down past the tank. It's a good scenic spot. So yeah, both Deer and I fell off the bike when it fell over. Obviously, we're sitting on it. The bike rolled over flat pretty much, so it tossed us off. Now, she just fell off the bike. I got thrown, and I think it was because I was pushing so hard against the ground with my leg, with my right leg, that when it did finally lay over, I think the seat just like threw me off like a bucking bronco. Because I actually went pretty much flying. I rolled on the ground, and I know I hit that stop sign there at the corner. I know I hit it, but I'm not sure. I think my shoulder hit it, because now I know I landed. This is the other thing that was stupid on our part for that day, but we did it. I was not wearing, say hello to the tank. I was not wearing my jacket when the accident happened. Now I know all you ACAT people are going to point your fingers at me and mention it in the comments. That serves me right for not wearing my jacket. I agree. But I wore the jacket all summer. It was a hot day. I wore the jacket to Kaufman's, and then when we were leaving Kaufman's to go to ice cream, it was a short hop to the ice cream place. I figured, well, we're not going far. I'll just ride in my t-shirt. I won't bother putting a jacket on. It's hot out. You know the rest, the drill. Then as it turns out, a couple miles down the road at a stop sign, we fall over. I drop the bike and I get tossed, and yeah, I scunned my arm, my elbow. Not terrible. I mean, it's a pretty, I got a scab on it now, so it's not great, but not terrible, not great. I'm not sure where this goes. I'm gonna find out. I might never have been on this road. So I scuffed my elbow with my arm a little bit. I'll show pictures of that here. I took pictures of my camera for posterity's sake. What a weird place for a stop sign. And Deer hurt her knee when she fell, so she hopped off the bike and landed funny, and she just had knee surgery recently, so that didn't help matters any. But it's getting better. Now, at the time, my arm, my elbow, my scuffed elbow was the only thing I thought I hurt. But then the next day, my shoulder started hurting really bad. And it still hurts a little bit. It's better now, it's getting better, but I didn't know what I did to my shoulder to make it hurt. I had no idea. I kind of thought maybe my shoulder hit that stop sign, the post for the stop sign, when I rolled to the ground. But my brother and Deer both think that I might have strained it when I went to pick the bike up, because, well, I panicked a bit when I saw the Goldwing laying on its side, because I'm not used to seeing my bike laying over. The first time I've seen the Goldwing laying over. So I quickly tried to get it back up on its wheels, off the ground. And I grabbed it and picked it up properly like it's supposed to, but I think I yanked it pretty hard, and my brother said I yanked at it pretty good. My brother said I picked the bike up pretty strongly. Saying I yanked at pretty good doesn't sound so kosher, does it? But in the process of picking the bike up, I think I, had the back passenger grab rail, and I think I hefted pretty good with my arm, and I think I just kind of yanked the shoulder out a bit, or pulled it. It's getting better. Other than that, though, we weren't hurt any more than that. Matter of pride, a few minor injuries, and scuffs on the bike. But I do find it ironic that one of the few times this whole year that I ride without a jacket on, I drop the bike and fall and scuff my arm. It just goes to show you how you never know when an accident's gonna happen, no matter how stupid the accident is, or how silly, or how improbable the accident is. You just don't know. I mean, if I didn't have a jacket on, I wouldn't have scuffed my arm at all. It would have been great. The padding on the jacket when I kept my shoulder from hitting the pole, or would have hurt a lot less. Either way, I should have had my jacket on. Because in hindsight, it wasn't that bad an accident. It wasn't that bad of a bike drop. bike was sitting still, it was motionless, so nothing dragged. This road's nice back here, actually. I don't know what it's called. I'll put it up on the corner of the screen when I go back on home and edit this and look at Google Maps to see what this road is. Oh, here's a stop. Here's a sign. It doesn't say. Birds Hill Road. Birds Hill Road. It's pretty cool. So in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't a bad accident or a bad bike drop. It could have been a moving accident. It could have been hit by a car. It could have been a lot worse. And that would have been worse, but even getting hurt at a standstill while getting dropped off, while falling off a bike, you still get hurt, even though you're sitting still. It just goes to show you how vulnerable people are on motorcycles. And looking at the bike and the damage and seeing what it would cost to fix it, turns out these saddlebag covers aren't cheap. A new one from Honda, color match to the Hawkseye Blue this bike color is, costs about $500–600. So yeah, that's not cheap. I don't know, I can't imagine getting it fixed by a body shop would be much less than that, just for the labor and work alone, because there are decals over the side of that, stickers. So working around the stickers and replacing the decals or whatever, that can't be cheap either. A lot of work. So we have two options: either A, I fix the bike up, make it look good, or B, I'll just leave it the way it is. It rides fine. The damage isn't terrible. Yeah, it's noticeable, but I'm not planning on entering this bike into bike shows to win trophies or anything, so I'm kind of leaning towards I might just leave the damage as it is, because it'll be, for me, a constant reminder of how stupid accidents can happen at any time, and how you should always wear your gear to be prepared for a stupid accident, no matter how silly or improbable it ever is. Wow, what a cool road. That stop sign came out of nowhere. We're gonna go left, see where that goes. It's nice back here. So yeah, I dropped my bike. I dropped my Goldwing. It's my fault. I should have been more aware of that stop I was coming up to. I should have been more aware of the road surface when I came to a stop. But the road is a bad spot. It's a bad intersection, slope wise. So stuff happens. If you're gonna ride a motorcycle, you're gonna have weird accidents happen. Things are gonna happen. It's just a matter of miles and time. But let me know down in the comments, what do you think? Should I fix the Goldwing up and make it perfect again, or should I save the damage and keep it there as a reminder? Also, tell me any stories you ever had about stupid times you dropped your motorcycle, or not so stupid, like bad situations that's happened to you when you drop your motorcycle, like accidents or someone else's fault or your fault, whatever. But I'm okay. The bike's okay. The bike runs fine. Deer's okay. All's good. It's not a great story, but not terrible. Wow. Admire the view. Oh, look at that nice Goldwing. It's even the right color. Wow. That's great. On that note, wow, look at this view. All right, that's a good way to end this video. Past another Hawkseye Blue Goldwing with a saddlebag intact, I'm sure. No scratches on his, probably. Good view to top it off with. Thanks for watching. Take care, ride safe, see you next time. Yada, 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 yada.